For those who do not know me, my name is Winscar. Um, and this is the 2023 Nintendo discussion slash prediction slash wishes. And just read the title. um, it, First things first, though, I like to check my volume. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right quick. Yes, volume's pretty good. Let me put the background music I had on. I guess I don't want it too loud. I just have it up going on my phone. But this isn't scripted or anything, so it's just kind of off the dome, so just bear with me. Nah, I've been, like, the snow. I don't know if you can see him. A little bit. But he's like right behind me. Comes and goes. But, yeah, I've been hearing a lot of stuff, first things first that didn't come true. I heard, I've been hearing the direct date everywhere, right? It's hard to predict the date, so I'm not gonna, bash on anybody for getting the date wrong or whatever. Because I feel like Nintendo could just change the date if they really wanted to last minute or something. That's just I don't know, my hypothesis or my guess, whatever. But I guess first things first, we could start is the Mario Kart Booster Pass. It's already on the my background. It took me like an hour to make too. It shouldn't have took that long. I mean, kinda, because I had some other stuff going on too. But I believe they'll tease us with. It's kind of like a bold prediction, and it's not because I got sources or anything. Let me clarify that I don't have any sources. This is just going off of what I've seen. So don't hate on me either, alright? But yeah, I hope they show 2-3 courses. And I guess 2 would be kind of dry, huh? The thing is, though, once we see the courses, it feels like the surprise of what we get in the end feels a little gone. I guess, the spoilers. I don't know. I'm, mixed about it. Because, when they showed it for Wave... Morning Blue Hedgehog Man 17. When they showed the Wave 3, teaser, I was like, cool, can't wait, hope it comes soon. But also I was like, they didn't show us a full 6. Now the surprise that's left is just 6 more courses. I think he wants to jump off. So I don't know, but I love Mario Kart 8 right now. I watched some guide videos. I learned a lot. I learned better item management, manage your coins, or not manage your coins. Yeah, I guess that goes with item management kind of, but to grab whatever coins you could get, or as soon as you hit somebody, it is a little rewarding because you could snag 1 or 2 coins, and even if you got max coins. If I just realized they have that little win animation that makes you go a little faster. So speed is everything, and also if I lose, I don't get disappointed about not getting first anymore. Now I just gotta a mind state have you to just survive and get the best place I can. Doesn't matter if it's 6. I'll celebrate with 6. My character's celebrating for getting 6 out of 12. Especially how chaotic it is. And at the end of the day, it's just luck. But yeah, as far as specific tracks, I mean the last wave wasn't really if you want to even call them drip feeding or whatever, lack of content. I don't know if anything's gonna really beat Wave 3 just because of that item DLC. Hold on. it's gonna be tough. They gotta have some really fire tracks. I still want all the Rainbow Roads, but I've been hearing around that like there's data mine leaks and stuff, so it might have not been there. They said like GameCube was supposed to have some more tracks, but not N64 anymore, which I guess is understandable. There's only 3 more waves. They want to have room for everything else. We already got a lot of N64, whatever. But to get to the point, I really hope DK, was it Snow Summit? I forget the exact name, but that's the Wii track. That has a really underrated like soundtrack, and I can't believe I forgot about that one. Plus it gives me like 1080 vibes. The other one is DK Mountain, right? Well, this is the one with the volcano from Double Dash. I've seen that like tour. The mountain looks kind of funny, but whatever. It's still the same basic stage, but it's a little nitpick for me, and maybe others. So, yeah, I think, okay, and one more, the Dino stage track from Double Dash. I'm assuming there's just one. That was a crazy one where it had all the jet streams and like I can't even remember the name, but it's like the dinosaur with like a really long neck. That was fun. Pretty hectic. I hope they bring that one back. I did hear there's like a data mine maybe for like Waluigi Stadium. Pretty cool track. Once I played again in Double Dash, it was just okay. And I'm a Waluigi fan. Don't like jump me for that, okay? But like I like the little plants coming from the side. There is a lot of room to do tricks. I think they had it on Wii as well. Wii might have been better than Double Dash. Double Dash, maybe it's just because you couldn't do tricks. So actually, it might be a decent. I don't know. It's not the worst one at all. But just because I'm a Waluigi fan doesn't mean like I really want that one. However, I would appreciate that one still. They all been pretty solid, and the only like out of the new tracks, I'd say that London Loop for Wave 3 is my least favorite. But I still don't mind it, and it's still a new stage. It's okay. It just seems like a little too linear. And like, I don't know. There's some mushroom shortcuts, which is okay. I like that the chain chomps, get loose. I think in the final lap, but even so, like it's definitely one of the lighter entries. Alright, Blue Hedgehog Man 17. Hopefully in the Nintendo Direct we'll get a release date for at least the first Pokemon Stadium, not necessarily two, to get added to NSO. And I'm also hoping for an all-new F-Zero and Metroid Prime 4. If they release Pokemon 1 and 2 at the same time, it would be really something. Yeah, I'm still crossing my fingers for a double drop for Stadium 1 and 2 Blue Hedge. I'm not sure though anymore, since technically there's 3 Pokemon Stadiums, because there is Japan N64 pack, and there is that first Pocket Monster Stadium that came before the other 2 stadiums. Which is like a little different, really lacking in content, but I don't know. I feel like that'll still be an important entry. Whether that makes it or not, I don't know. And they didn't even show it in the direct, so that might not even exist for Switch. So that could just be like just like a wild card. So just kind of forget I said that. But F-Zero, about F-Zero, yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people, like, obviously there's a cult following that wants F-Zero, myself included. But if I'm like feeling to play something F-Zero, I just play Fast RMX. I know that like series is kind of old itself, but I really like the color changing system as well as boosting. And there is a hero mode, which is like pretty much like playing F-Zero, where if your boost is your life, which is F-Zero's what should I say, specialty mechanic. Samster. There's usually a Pokemon Direct every 27th of February. Don't think it'll be announced in Nintendo Direct. Yeah, that's a fair point, Samster. Yeah, to save for the Direct would make a lot of sense, especially since, well, we already got GoldenEye last month, and this month could be Mario Party 3. So, yeah, who knows? Plus, Transfer Pack is a big thing. Like, we didn't get content for N64 for a long time. So, it would make sense how they maybe want to work on the Transfer Pack stuff. I'm still hoping for that. But I'll still enjoy Stadium 1 and 2 regardless if they have the Transfer Pack stuff to connect with Game Boy or not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Game Boy NSO, but I'm still hoping for like the what is it? The Gen 1 and 2 games to be available. Alright, Blue Hedgehog Man 17 again to you finally. Well, I am aware Pokemon Stadium is Pocket Monster Stadium 2 and Pokemon Stadium 2 is Pokemon Stadium GS. End quote. Yeah. But what I meant, I hope I like clarified it right. Yes, there is that Pocket Monster Stadium and that Pocket Monster Stadium GS, but there's a game that came before that first Pocket Monster Stadiums, and that's what I was talking about. You probably see me play it on I recorded it like years ago, but I believe I still have the copy. It was really quick to to beat because it didn't have a lot of content. Samster, that's true. Blue Hedgehog Man Senti. Samster, I don't think the next Pokemon Presents will announce the stadiums to get added to NSO. Yeah, it would make sense either way. Blue Hedge, I am on the side of hoping they just announce that this Direct. I also heard that like they're not having they're not gonna announce, or they're not excuse me, Nintendo's not joining that as far as other companies too. The E3, because they said they didn't have a lot of content to show. But I'm still that made me a little disappointed because I was like, man, this Direct's gonna be a sleeper Direct. We're getting towards the end of the Switch lifespan. You know, I was starting to feel a little gloom, but I don't really want that much stuff. I'm just looking for. I think most of us are just like, we need that Direct fix. But maybe I'm not speaking for everybody. Maybe it's just myself. But I just want like NSO stuff. I mean, like, I'm a big NSO head, I want to say. I don't play too much SNES, but I would like to. Or NES anymore. Ever since N64 dropped. Or even Genesis. It's mostly N64, but I will still play it from time to time. So, yeah, let's get more to the Transfer Pack. Like, this is more I just really hope they get it. Whether they do it or not, I'm not predicting anything. I just know there's there's a demand for it. If they charge extra, I'll pay for it. Right, Blue Hedgehog Ministry. All I know is that by the time they get added, every Pokemon N64 game will be added to NSO. Except for Hey You, Pikachu, which will be impossible to add anyway. Yeah, I don't know how they'll do that. Maybe I say the next Pokemon Direct, if they did like a sequel to Hey You Pikachu, that'd be interesting. I don't know about like the exact one or a remake, but I feel like a sequel is the way to go just because they did Pokemon Snap. And speaking of Pokemon games, I did hear that like what is it, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon franchise has like been under the fence a little bit. So that's a little disappointing because they released DX, and I would hope they'll at least like do another remake. But who knows? I'm not sure what the sale count for it is or like what's the mindset behind Pokemon. Maybe they just want to work on like mainline Pokemon games because we've been getting a lot of Pokemon games kind of back to back. Like we have Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, then Pokemon Arceus, then what is it? Pokemon Scarlet Violet. So it's a lot of work for their teams. And the Arceus and the Fallout were huge games, so I wouldn't blame them for like maybe holding off the spin-offs. But at the same time, do they want to keep going with that? I doubt it. I feel like we're at the end of the Switch's lifespan. That's what I've just been hearing around. Could be wrong, but the Switch is old or getting of age. You can't blame that. It's like past 5 years. So they probably want to save something big for the next system. But anyways, going back to Transfer Pack. Yeah, it really like you see the shiny Gyarados in my background. Like some people could just shiny hunt and then want to transfer to like their stadium, or everyone could nickname their Pokemon and the color be slightly different. I believe it goes for both stadiums as well. It's not just for like the exact move set and stats if you don't want like do rentals. It just shows like it's a lot more content, keeps the player active, and it really shows off personality. Blue Hedgehog Vincenti. I'm really hoping for an all new F-Zero game because there hasn't. He's barking in his sleep. I'm really hoping for an all new F-Zero game because there hasn't been one since GX for the GameCube, and also the GBA games, GP Legend, Maximum Velocity, and Climax. GP. Well, first of all, the Game Boy Advance games. Velocity wasn't for me. GP Legend and Climax was good though. Hold on. A lot of mic bumps, sorry. Yeah, new F-Zero would be nice. I would like them to have a new gimmick. Fast RMX and Fast Racing Neo, like they added a new gimmick to that style of a game, and it really worked in my opinion. Regardless of sales, this is just as a player. Stop going there. Regardless as the sales, one of those 3 F-Zero GBA games released only in Japan. Yeah, that was Climax. Yeah, I know. I don't know about a translation, but if we were to have Game Boy or either a collection or Game Boy Advance NSO, it would still be accessible through what is it? Japan NSO. So basically free if you already like pay the extra subscriptions. But yeah, back to Transfer Pack. Long story short, I just hope they do it. Price, I don't know like if they will add a price on it or not. If it was free, everyone's happy, but I don't know about that or how they're going to do it. I know I'll pay for it, but whatever extra costs, I know everyone's going to be pissed about it. They're going to be like, "Whoa, no, I'm not." There's going to be a fair share of people that won't like it, obviously. It's the same way for N64. Come on, dog. N64 NSO. There's still a fair share of people who are like, I'm just going to emulate it, which I don't blame them, I guess. To be fair though, you do save a lot if you like compare the prices of all the N64 games available right now on NSO. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Like there's a lot of $60 games on there. You only pay like 50 a year. Even though, yes, one day we'll probably lose it, but I would assume that's not for a while. But who knows? Instead of like 7 years down the line, maybe you lose it in 3. But I don't know. I'm not even too worried about it. I'm just trying to enjoy it while I can right now. So I think I'm gonna leave that transfer pack alone. But let's just say I'll be paying extra for it. I'll be paying the extra $100. No. Hopefully it doesn't get like that. But now Game Boy NSO, I don't know too much Game Boy NSO. I got Super Mario Land right there. Kind of a little story. My sister, she used to have it. Come on, why you always gotta lay in the mic? My sister used to, or one of my sisters used to have that game, played it all the time. I'm like, what is that? Well, actually, I think it was Super Mario Land 2, and that's with the one with Wario, right? Where you have to collect the 7 gold coins or something like that. Really cool game. The first one looked cool too. I always seen it around. I don't think I ever played it. The only way I played it, sort of, was through like some kind of WarioWare games. I don't know if it's DIY or what, but it was like a throwback to that. It could have even been the latest one. Yeah. The Super Mario Land games would be nice. Wario Land, if that's for Game Boy. I'm not too familiar with Game Boy. Game Boy Color, yeah. But I would assume, not going to transfer packs technically, but I've been seeing around that, the Pokemon Gen 1 and 2 games will come. I don't know if that's through NSO or through separate purchases, but I hope it comes, and it deserves to come, because when you think about it, when Wii U and 3DS were around, you could buy, Pokemon Yellow on 3DS, and that's why I played on 3DS, but not on Wii U. And since this is like a cross-console portable hybrid, it deserves to be on there. You have discussion misspelled. There's only one C and there's other S between the two vowels. On you. Yeah, I screwed that up. Thanks, Village. Can I fix that? Okay, I think I get my Twitch again. Okay, the update for both. Okay. I pressed update twice. I didn't need to do that. Alright, Super Mario Lands, the Gen 1 and 2s. Especially, like, I don't know. I feel like with the new generations, it'd be great. Just like most of this NSO, but especially Pokemon with how popular it is. A lot of people still probably didn't play 1 and 2, believe it or not, or Gen 1 and 2 Pokemon. So, it would be cool just to even, like, link battle. Like, think about that. Whether it's on NSO or not, I would assume they would put link battles. Because I'm not sure if you could have did that on 3DS, but regardless, it'd be nice to do it on Switch. One's a little, like very haywire and glitchy, so I don't know if people really want net play there. But it'd be nice to at least trade too, right? Because you can't get certain Pokemon, so if you can trade, you can probably battle. And I'm sure there's a lot of OGs or maybe even some new generation people, whatever, whoever it is wants to play the old Pokemon games and just play with each other. It's another Pokemon game. So, even though it's not like open world and like 700 Pokemon in the Pokedex or whatever, it's the old style, but it's another Pokemon to play, and you could play competitively if you really wanted to. In Gen 2, I'm somebody who would like be down to like witness that, to like spectate, because yeah, it's a pretty good game. It will be even better in Stadium if you could do transfer pack, but Game Boy will be cool too. GBA NSO. Honestly, I don't see it. I feel like if they're adding anything new NSO, it'd be like Sega Saturn. But even then, like, in my opinion, I'm like, what? They probably signed some kind of contract, but I don't know about it since they have Genesis with Sega. But I'll assume, like, Sega Saturn. And I think there's data in mind of that. That's why I'm saying it. If I didn't see that, I would just be like, I don't know. Do we really need any more things from, like, Sega like that to NSO? Let's just add, like, Game Boy. Let's just add Game Boy Advance instead. We still have Sega games on Game Boy Advance. I mean, Game Boy Advance like, has a great library too. But as great as the GBA library is, I don't really want to talk about it just because I'm leaning more to it's not coming yet, or at least it's too early. It's too early. It's not in this direct. That's my opinion. Blue Hedgehog Man 17. I agree. Sega Saturn would make a great addition to NSO. I never owned that console back in the day when I was a kid. Same with Dreamcast. Dreamcast. Ooh. Great system. Sonic Adventure. Rival Schools. Crazy Taxi. Jet. I think it's Jet Grind Radio or Jet Set Radio. Jet Set Radio. Might have been Jet Set Radio. I don't know. Whatever with the terminology. That like Jet Set Radio, not reincarnation, but inspiration game, the Cyber Bomb Funk or whatever, that's game still in development. I thought it'd be out for now. I would have got that. But, yeah, there's a lot of games for Dreamcast. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, Power Stone or something? I played it like once. It's still a decent game. Yeah. Dreamcast will be like awesome. It'll be a dream come true. Like everyone wants to play Sonic Adventure and the other games. Maybe like I don't know. There's a lot of 3D Sonic games that we need ported, but first one definitely on the list should be Sonic Adventure, as it should be. I only play rival schools in arcades. That's awesome. I seen it once when I went to like expos. For example, I think like a couple years ago, Philly Expos, Too Many Games. I met Charles Martinet there. I got a little, what is it? I forget where you pay them to like do a little shout out or whatever. It was cool. I'll play Crazy Taxi with copyrighted music. Yeah, it's a great game. You should play Sonic Riders one day. A little off topic, but because it has like wait, I don't know if you've even seen gameplay. You probably seen gameplay, but it has some like callbacks to like those other Sega franchises. But yeah, for Sega Saturn, I would like to play Knights because I never played that, and I only seen Knights through spin-off games. Sega, what is it, All Star Tennis, Superstar? I don't know. It's hazy. And Sonic Riders. I think Sonic Riders was my first exposure to him. Yeah, so that would be cool. Excuse me. Yeah, but Game Boy Advance, it seems too soon. If it does come, or if it does get teased, awesome. GBA has a great library, like I said. Just real quick, that like it is in Mario Bros. 3, that little mini game where like whoever knocks the most enemy, you play at the same time, and whoever knocks the most enemies gets coins, and then you win, I guess. But in this case, it's like endless. I forget what it is, but it's like you could go up to 4 people at the same time. That's cool. Mario Kart Super Circuit is okay. I mean, why wouldn't you have Mario Kart, like a staple Nintendo franchise? It's probably the worst one in this series, but it would be cool to get some 4-player action, I guess. Especially since it was so hard to do link cable stuff back in the day. Basically, like anything 4-player will be a great addition. I don't want to get too in depth in Game Boy Advance though, because like I said, I feel like it's too soon. We still got a lot of N64. And I feel like we're gonna get something on the older side, like a little more retro, which Game Boy would make sense to me, and Sega Saturn. Not saying they're not fun, and I hope we get Sonic and Knuckles 3, but it's already in that that latest Sonic Origins collection, so I don't see it happening. But at least offline, I could play that multiplayer in Sonic and Knuckles, which is nice. It's okay. Sonic Advance. You see, I'm back. I said I'm not gonna talk about GBA, but I gotta mention this. Well, let's just do some quick multiplayer shoutouts. Sonic Advance. I want to say if one of those games, they had decent multiplayer. I want to say the first one, but it's like hazy. I think you like battle each other. F-Zero, I would assume, has multiplayer. Like, more specifically, GP Legend. I'm not familiar with the other ones. I would hope it's at least 4-player. Was there Minish Cap? I don't think so. Get to the Zelda GBA. I guess not really. It would have to be connected with the GameCube game, Four Swords Adventure, or something like that. What else is there? Kirby. I know there's like a Kirby game or two that had 4 players. And I think that's it that I can think of at the top of my head. There's a lot of like third-party GBA, but I'm not even going to include that. But yeah, it'd be nice just because link cable was like, I want to say hard to access because GBA was cheap. Link cable wasn't too bad, maybe, or was it? I don't know, it might have been a decent price. But having the exact game, like that was all a matter of luck. Even though one person just needed a link cable and not 2 people, unless you wanted 4 people in. But yeah. We got Dragon 17. I think Sonic 3 and Knuckles would be nice to get added in NSO. If they added Sonic and Knuckles alone, the lock-on features should be included. Sonic 2 is already there, so it makes sense. Yes, exactly. Part of me is like wishing Origins never came, just so we could have Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Sonic CD on what is it? On NSO, but I guess Sonic CD was a different system, so it makes sense. I don't know. And not to mention, we already have a collection game on Switch that has a lot of the games on the NSO expansion thing. What else? Going to Mega Man, I guess it's kind of GBA related. Going to the Battle Network series, there is some games, or at least one game. There's like this 3DS game, like Star Force, and it'd be nice if they have added like a DLC of that, or just even sold it separately. Yeah, I think that's all I got for that. I don't know what else they could add to that collection. They already have net play and trading and stuff for certain games, so not really gonna talk about too much third party because I don't really have nothing about it. what is it? It sucks that Street Fighter 6, which makes sense, I guess, because like the Switch is a weaker system, and Tekken 8, like we still don't have any. Maybe we don't need the latest Street Fighter and Tekken game. We are at least have a Street Fighter collection, so Capcom's not running us dry. But Tekken, man, we don't got no Tekken games on Switch. And it's crazy because we had Kazuya, maybe because they gave us Kazuya for Smash, right? You could always say that, but it is what it is. It just kind of sucks. I don't have Sonic Origins, and I have no plans yet. There's nothing really interesting about me. Yeah, it makes sense. And I got it. I only got it because it was on sale. So I was like, alright, I don't mind. But, we already had the first Sonic. It really didn't add too much to that game. I think you had like a goggles accessory or something, to mention one thing. Give me a second here. I haven't made a lot of Mega Man content, but I want to do 7 at some point. 7? You do know what 7's about, right? Yeah, a lot of people didn't like 7. I loved it. Sorry. Yeah, Klonoa was pretty cool. To get 1 and 2 combined for the third-party games that we got. I don't know. I like Digimon Cyber Sleuth. I still didn't see a new one besides that story. Story didn't appeal to me. Didn't check the new trailer for the latest one. What other third parties? Hopefully Phoenix. I heard Phoenix Wright was like kind of in decline, like that franchise. But that was a great collection. Just trying to think of other third parties right now. Like Sonic needs its come up. I heard that like I guess a Mario movie will be coming. Let me put that music back on. It's kind of gloom. Blue Hedgehog Man 17. The only game I've done is the PlayStation version of 8. I never did 1 through 6 because I wasn't born when the NES was around. I never played 9 or 10. I don't currently own 11 at the moment. Now see with the X collection, I just said I had access to the X collection, I want to say 1 through 4. No, I think no. It was a collection where they had all of them. This like splitting the collections 1 through 4 and like 5 through 8 was like Capcom's new idea to. I don't know if it was necessary to make money because I think it was split into $30. So, but then I don't know. It's just so weird. They should have just did 1 through 8. Same thing with the other, well, maybe not Battle Network since there's a lot more content to it, but the latest X collections, they should have just made it all through one. Because on PlayStation and GameCube, maybe Xbox or PC, I'm not exact 100%. And I think they did the same with their normal Mega Man. Is they had like the whole, with normal Mega Man, I want to say they at least went up to 6. 1 through 6. I don't know about 7 and 8. It's hazy. But they had the whole collection lineup. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you had it right off the bat, though. And maybe I'm wrong. But they had a lot of them. I want to say, though, they did have 1 through 8. But before that, I only had access to 4 and 7. And I had fun with both of them. A lot of raging. I want to say more rage probably in 4. Going back though, like to 4, I realized how easy it was for the most part compared to. I mean, there were some places where I was stuck and it really took a long time to figure things out. It's just learning patterns though. At the end of the day, the first Legacy collection includes NES game 1 through 6. Oh, okay. Legacy collection 2 includes 7 and 10. And I was told that they specifically had the PlayStation version 8 and not Sega Saturn version. Yeah. There's a lot of Mega Mans. Ooh, 40 minutes. Yeah, I think this, and yeah, let's get to Legend of Zelda. Finally, Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild looked cool. I heard a lot of people like love Breath of the Wild. I do see Tears of the Kingdom, since it's getting released at the end of the Switch's lifespan, just coming to the next system, being ported right, better graphics, better run speed. Yeah. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna tackle that game. Like, Switch has a huge library of games in the first place, and I know it's Zelda. I preferred the Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, those styles. Skyward Sword, I don't know. I could have access to it, but yeah, not 100% at all. More like 40%, I want to say, or 35%, something like that. Basically, I'm not trying to get Tears of the Kingdom, I think. Now, if they finally change the formula, like Legends Arceus, which I'm not sure if they would, because I think we would have heard about it, or maybe it's like pretty sealed with leaks and stuff, so maybe it's not like publicly known. If they had like co-op to it, that's what would probably make me purchase it. It's gotta be like pretty good co-op, not like some little side dungeon or something that doesn't have that much content. For example, the little sharing mini dungeon we had in that Link's Awakening DX remake. It can't be something like that. It's gotta be like some pretty decent multiplayer content. But I just don't think they'll do that, so that's why I'm leaning towards not. But if one day, maybe not Tears of the Kingdom, but one day if they add decent multiplayer to Zelda, just like Four Swords Adventure, I guess, if you want to call it decent or not. But the point is that you gotta have probably decent multiplayer or go to like that other style. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking or something. But yeah, that's just my feelings on Tears of the Kingdom. Sorry to disappoint you fans. I really hope, the long wait comes, worth it. And y'all Tears of the Kingdom fans, just enjoy it. Twilight Princess was supposed to be a GameCube exclusive, but they delayed it for the release of the Wii. Breath of the Wild was supposed to be a Wii U exclusive, but they delayed it for the Switch as a launch title. Oh. Okay. I didn't know that, Blue Hedge. Yeah, thanks for that info. it was hazy since it's been so long. I would assume one came first, but I guess they just dropped at the same time. Yeah, that's definitely here an awkward pattern there. But there was Skyward Sword too for Wii, which came after Twilight Princess. Wii U, I don't think there's really another Zelda. I mean, 3DS had Zelda, so hopefully that's not the. Or yeah, I assume. Yeah. Just hopefully that's not the case, and we don't get. It's just too early for another system, so I say hopefully. I don't think that's the case this time around. Thank goodness. Yeah, I feel like the Switch still has a ways to go. Oh, I don't think we're gonna get a sneak peek at our next system either this direct. But maybe that's just it's like I look like Captain Obvious right now. Like, yeah, why would they? Or like any kind of hint with developers. But maybe it'll come more down the line that they're working on their new system. Like some more little hints that they keep dropping. Because I think they have been here and there lately. Maybe I could go, not really for this direct anymore, but it's more towards the wishes part. N64 NSO, I think this is what we're gonna finish with, because I really don't got too much else to talk about. Smash Bros really needs to get on there, and that's a thumb burner, a stick breaker. Blue Hedgehog and 17. Basically speaking, none of the Wii U games were exclusive. Breath of the Wild released alongside Switch. The Wind Waker is previously a GameCube title, and Twilight Princess released on both GameCube and Wii. Twilight Princess. Okay, TP equals Twilight Princess. Right, Wind Waker. Well, Wind Waker, they didn't really re-release on the Wii, right? It was Wii U. It had that hero mode stuff. Same thing with Twilight Princess. Wind Waker was like much later on. But yeah, I get your point of like exclusive technically down the line. I mean, at a certain point it was exclusive though. Yeah, but then it got re-released somewhere else basically. Yeah, it's funny how that all works. But I think that's a good thing anyways though, because I mean, it's still exclusive to Nintendo. Now that's a Captain Obvious one. Like, duh, why? Of course it's going to be Nintendo. They're not going to give their precious IPs to other. But anyways, yeah, Zelda's so good it should be ported. We're still missing a lot of Zelda. So it'd be nice to get some, but I guess with the NSO Netflix kind of system we have now, we're just gonna have to wait and get drip fed and keep waiting. I'll be live with the Wind Waker this Saturday if you're available to watch me. What time? I'll try to peep in sometimes. You know, you've been in my stream for a while, so should be a little more free now too. Last Saturday it was like freezing cold. I didn't want to do anything. Plus I had this guy with me. So I was a little preoccupied, but he goes back pretty soon. N64. Yeah, Smash really needs to be on there. Diddy Kong Racing. I heard Perfect Dark's even better than GoldenEye. Just like, you go up to 4 players with 8 other bots. That's what I kept reading. See ya. Going off. Bye. Honestly, got too hot. With 8 other boss, cooler weapons, it just looked better too. But GoldenEye set the wave, so definitely deserve that spot. It'd be nice to get Perfect Dark. 3 or 4 p.m. All right, awesome. What was I gonna say? Perfect Dark is a rated M game, so I guess I can't set my hopes high for that. I'm not really an FPS guy to begin with. The original Super Smash Bros. Should be added to NSL, and definitely Decon Racing. I don't know about Perfect Dark. I don't think Rare's going to do that, especially because GoldenEye 007 is recently added. Yeah, 007 took a lot of rights. I guess like it comes down to we can only get so many rareware titles, whatever you want to call it. And I guess I'll see Banjo-Tooie, since they only have so many rare picks, because we already got Banjo-Kazooie, GoldenEye. I feel like they'll throw Banjo-Tooie and Diddy Kong Racing. I feel like we can't get, I guess technically as well, Donkey Kong 64, which would probably be a lot easier. I feel like anything more is just really pushing the boundaries, not only for Rare, but other N64 titles to get in. But that just goes to show that Rare had some banger N64 titles, and it's unfortunate, but especially the rated M is holding it back. But GoldenEye, like you're kind of like dealing with like military organizations. You're flat out shooting each other. It's not a fantasy gun, a laser from Star Fox. It's based off real guns with real blood, I believe, but it's just not as gory as Perfect Dark, I would assume. It's kind of like Tony Hawk, where there's like a little bit of blood, and then okay, you're good. You're ready to go. Fans are still waiting for Banjo-Tooie to get added, but I really want CDK, Donkey Kong 64. Donkey Kong 64 was added to the Wii U Virtual Console. There's no reason for that game not to be included in NSO. Exactly, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, Blue Hedge, because I didn't. I just assumed people did, but just in case people did, yeah. That was on Wii U Virtual Console. Multiplayer is actually pretty decent. Pretty much FPS again. I mean, you could like melee each other, but Banjo-Tooie, I just realized that has that option too. Like we're starting to get a lot of. We're not starting to get. Those games weren't even announced yet. But I feel like it would be a crime not to add Donkey Kong 64. Regardless if it's like a super long, ridiculous collectible game. People still love it. It still has decent multiplayer. Banjo-Tooie maybe doesn't live up to expectations as a prequel or the first one. It doesn't like stand out as much as a sequel, but it does have multiplayer, a decent multiplayer. They're both kind of FPS, so that's cool. And I vaguely remember playing Banjo-Tooie multiplayer too. After I see some gameplay, I was just like, oh yeah. So I feel like Smash should have been first in the entry. That's like the one for me that there's no reason for it to not be included, because like Sakurai busted his butt. Like he almost passed out and stuff. Many times, like in the Wii U days, Switch. He got so many franchises in there, like Metal Gear, Kingdom Hearts. That's a giant one. Minecraft, Persona. What's the other one? Who am I missing? Did I say Kazuya Tekken? All those guest characters in one game. Final Fantasy Sephiroth. All the stages, the music. above and beyond that game. You say you're probably not getting another game like that. He's right about that. A lot of people ain't coming back again. Yeah, but that's why the first Smash should have been there, regardless if people think it's clunky or like the worst one, which I really like, but it's probably it could be like a lot of nostalgia. There is a lack of content compared to other Smash, but even so, it still has a lot of content, like all the items, stages, characters, combinations, teams, free for all, stop. Just, it's still fun. If Banjo-Kazooie was added to Nintendo Switch Online, there should be no reason for Banjo-Tooie to get excluded. That's another thing. Yeah, it'll make sense. Which is, like, I think Banjo-Tooie and Donkey Kong 64 is very likely. Other rare games, you just gotta hope and pray. I don't think. I think that's all the N64 games I want to cover. Like, I look forward to what we got in the first wave, the second wave. Yeah, we're not gonna get shown that. It's way too early, obviously. Maybe like the summer direct, we'll like get an insight on the last wave, cause like I'll assume this is a guess, but an example. Yes, example. We get like Mario Party 3 for February. March, let's just say a double drop. Then the following, I don't know, 1080 for April. June, Excite Bike. August, dang, it's gonna take a while for these games to come. August, Excite Bike. Did I say that already? I hope. See, that's why I hope it's a double drop, because this is gonna drag on too long. Then afterwards, Japan gets Harvest Moon 64. It sucks. We don't get it. Dang it. I seen gameplay though. I think we're not really missing out too much on Harvest Moon 64. And we got all those farm games now, or coming. I want to say that to go with that Japan exclusive N64 game for NSO. Exclusive to NSO, I don't mean like 64, but I want to say the Cruisin' series. I felt like that's pretty big. There's still arcades and stuff, so that's my defense. So it's maybe the first entry of Cruisin' USA, or it could be World or the other one. After that, we already covered Smash, Donkey Kong 64, Diddy Kong Racing, the like more out there picks, Perfect Dark. What's another rare game? I know a lot of people like Jet Force Gemini, Conquer. I didn't mention Conquer, but reason being is because like that's like the lowest of the low. That's like the Onyx in Pokemon. You probably ain't gonna win. The odds are stacked against, or Ganondorf in Smash. You're probably not gonna win. You're like bottom of the barrel. I don't know what if Ganondorf's like the best in Melee. I don't know if you compare it to all of them or Ultimate. But Ultimate, I've seen every tier list, and now they put him at the bottom of the barrel. He got like one buff. But yeah, it sucks. Conquer just needs to come back to its own. His best hope is to just come back to its own, Microsoft. Not even Nintendo. Would be awesome though. They got good multiplayer. Alright, you get to Blue Hedgehog Man 17's comments. I know I skipped you for a little bit. I can already tell that CBFD won't get added to NSO. It's an M-rated game. Oh, Conquer's bad for a day. Okay, I never heard it referred to. Like I never seen that abbreviation for that game. My bad. My bad for not catching on. It's an M-rated game, and Nintendo's most likely not include those ratings onto that. Not only is it M-rated, I feel like maybe could take the blood, right? But Conker's like alcohol, smoking, like very non-Nintendo like. So we'll just leave it at that. I don't know if I want to make contact for Excite Bike 64, Wave Race 64, or even 1080 snowboarding, much less Pilot Wings 64. Pilot Wings, I tried with a friend. I'd say maybe ask somebody who's very good at Pilot Wings 64. Go in their room, take turns into a bunch of levels so you get an experience. But I did not. Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't with Pilot Wings 64. I tried. I really gave it a go for a while, but I was like, yeah, I couldn't. I kind of forced myself, but yeah, in my opinion, you're not missing out too much. It's not multiplayer, so Wave Race 64. You already know how I feel about that. I recommend you just look in tutorials, or I could even help you, maybe coach you a little bit. Like I said, real quick, when it goes to 3, 2, 1, go, you hold A, then you transition from A to holding Z as your gas. Then you want to press or keep tapping B, just like this. So you keep yourself leveled in the water. You hold Z for your acceleration. And then sharp turns where you have to go like in the corner. I don't know, it's weird. You gotta have the feel for it. But you kind of let go of tapping the B. And you just hold Z and like the corner. But sometimes you just go, straight left. It is very weird. It took me a lot of grinding, so I guess if you don't got time for all grinding, you gotta push other stuff out, yeah. I guess you don't got time for it. I feel like maybe it's like Mario Kart games or even F-Zero. Like F-Zero, I think a lot of people had to grind for a bunch of F-Zero games, so it's EAD also, so but that doesn't say much. 1080. Even going back in, I kind of struggled with the expert race, like the last race. But 1080 is a little more easier. At the start, I don't know, you kind of like hold Z and keep flicking the stick up. Then every time, you want to keep your, like, I don't know, board leveled. And every time you land, when you're airborne, you let go of everything, I think. And then when you land, you simultaneously hold Z and up. 1080, I want to say was easier than Wave Race 64 to learn. But I grew up with 1080 64. So Wave Race, I had like less time, I guess, to learn it. But I looked up the tutorial and it was a lot easier. But Pilot Wings, I got no hope for that game. Glad Shockman 17. I agree with Cruising USA and maybe World getting added to this, so I don't know about Exotica though. So you think 2 tiles will come? That's an interesting take. Personally, I would just want one of them. Maybe World. I feel like that looks a little better. I think it's 4 players, right? One of them is 4 players, and I believe that's World, because I have USA. That's only 2 players. I hope to get like something like Beetle Adventure Racing, although that might be like wishy-washy, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, not really too much N64 games. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, we already got a cool remake of that. I think we have Duke Nukem 64 separately. If they could do like Conquer separately, or like Perfect Dark even separately, I don't know how I would feel about that. I also don't know if they'll do it, because Perfect Dark wasn't as near as popular as Duke Nukem 64. It got it way before this NSO stuff just because of how good it did. It sucks that they say Perfect Dark's the better game, which I definitely could see why. But it just didn't sell as good. It's probably because it was based off a movie, 007. Cruising World and Exotic are both for 4 players. Cruising USA only allows 2 players. Yeah, and that's why I would rather want one of those entries. I feel like the more 4-player games, no matter how mid it is, like to me, some mid, I might offend some people, but you know, whatever. It's just, you know, NSO's got something for everybody. You're not gonna like everything. I don't like everything, and this is what I think is mid. Dr. Mario 64. Below mid, actually, not even mid, is that one game that went to Wii U for N64. Like finally got translated there, and then it came to Switch somehow, first in line, of which they should have never even been there. I can't remember. It's like this arcade shooter game. Oh, Sin and Punishment. Sin and Punishment is like below mid. What else? Winback I thought was mid, but that game is actually pretty fun. And even though GoldenEye's out, I still probably go back to it. I think because it plays like kind of like Metal Gear, and I like Metal Gear. I only played the first one, but I already knew how to kind of move in that one. What else? I mean, Mario Golf's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's mid, especially like mini golf. Star Fox 64 is only mid if there's not 4 people. It's like slightly above mid, but well, I definitely put it on the lower line because I don't know. I feel like I still, even with 4 people, I get kind of bored. The Star Fox Command for DS, I forget how many you could go up to. I think it was like 8 players. That was awesome. That's like a real dogfight. And I've done it. I've done it with max people. It's still crazy how I got max people with that. I don't know. I guess there really isn't too much mid 4-player games because, you know, it's 4 players. Oh well, maybe Kirby. Kirby, the multiplayer side, I wouldn't put it as low as Dr. Mario, but I guess it is kind of mid. Like it only has 3 mini games, but it has variants to shake it up. But yeah, it's kind of mid. Not saying it's not fun though. It is fun. Dr. Mario is still kind of fun too, but it's just my least favorite on the list. But yeah, I gotta say Kirby's kind of mid too. But we got so many good games right now. Mario Party, Zelda's, even though that's not multiplayer. Of course, OG Mario Kart 64. One of the best ones on there. Probably the best one. I'm still on the fence if like I think Mario Kart 64 is the best one or Custom Rule V2. I think I can't put, just for me personally, obviously a lot of people are gonna like 64. Just because you could fight and you could race. So I'm gonna just say best fighter on there is Custom Rule V2 right now. Something to fight. Then best racer, Mario Kart 64. I can't put one in front of the other just cause like they're different categories, but they're really good. Yeah, I can't, like I said before, I can't really think of any other N64 games. They keep adding icons, which is cool. They need to figure out how to sell N64 controllers overseas. I think it's because of the chip shortage or something. With those new icons and stuff, there's like a green controller. I was hoping to get N64 controller variants, but it looks like they're not going to do that at all, which is unfortunate, and they kind of missed the ball on that one. But maybe you could just settle for a skin if you finally get one down the line or something, like a skin slash decal, like slap it over your controller. But yeah, I look forward to all the multiplayer content, even the ones that aren't on N64 just yet but announced, like Excite Bike 64. I look forward to that. Some 4-player fun. You can still bump into each other and fly out, so that's gonna be funny. A little hectic. I played some of it. It's really not bad, especially for a lot of people who like aren't familiar with it too. Probably 5 people on the same level have some good old fun. But yeah, it's been an hour. I did not expect to like go this long, but here we are. I think that wraps everything about up. And let me know your predictions in the comment section, guys. Blue Hedgehog Man, shout out to you. Samster and everyone else, thank you for stopping by. And I'll see you next time, hopefully very soon. Hopefully I could live react, maybe not. I'm not sure where this date is going to be at. But hopefully it's like Thursday, we get an announcement today. If not, it's next week. Maybe they'll say it's next month, a delay. Who knows, right? I don't. One never knows does one. But let's hope it's just soon, right? So hopefully, I hope all of you guys get your wishes or wants or something you want and you're satisfied with the direct. Hopefully it's not a sleeper direct entirely or whatever. But anyways, have a good one, guys. I'm going to close this stream up.